Good morning. I'm just up near University House, seeing all the cars do the rat run through Garran Road coming onto campus. And I was just thinking about what I said to the undergraduate students this week, I should say, during O Week. I encourage them to be curious, to be kind, and to be who they want to be for the rest of their lives. And I think that applies equally to all of us, professional and academic staff. I feel like I'm a curious person. I've been here nearly a month now, and still so much to discover. Every day I discover something new. Thought I'd figured out what the word college fully meant in ANU until 2 days ago when I went to visit the National Security College, and that was the fifth type of college I think that you have all invented, on top of institutes and centres, which don't always quite mean what everyone thinks they mean or what other people in other institutions think they mean, but that's for another day. And what I said to them was to be curious, because I think that's the kind of scholar that many of you are, be it professional or academic staff. I see that curiosity kind of burning bright every single day. I like to talk to lots of different people. I ask you all what you're most excited about. And I've discovered, as I've said in my emails many times, I've discovered many different aspects of work that's going on in Fenner or MSI, computer science. Just even yesterday, some of the work that was happening in engineering around the energy transition and a digital physical twin that you have on campus that you could use to model Indonesia or something larger. And I think if we're curious about what others are doing in their work, in their research, then the students will see that as well, and they'll be curious. And I think their curiosity drives our curiosity, because what we're doing here, of course, is research and teaching. Research-led teaching is how I've always thought of it. And I think it's kind of important to remember that's what a good university does, if you're going to try to have impact, not just through the research outputs that we create, but through the people who we educate, so that they actually go out and have curious minds and stay curious for the rest of their lives, and actually help solve the big problems. I also ask them to be kind. Now, of course, we all know, if you're an undergraduate or even a master's or PhD student, what does it mean to be kind? And I don't just mean to be nice. We don't want people to be nice. We want people who are kind in terms of explaining things to others, lifting each other up, so that if you're in halls or if you're working on a group project and somebody knows a lot about something in electrical engineering and somebody else knows nothing about chemical engineering, that you're the kind of person who bridges and brokers between those two disciplines, and you actually explain what that actually means to each other. Because I think we all in this college know that systems thinking and human-centered systems thinking needs larger groups of people. You might have someone, as I met walking across campus the other day, who's expanding maths by reimagining and rethinking how Schrodinger's equations might work, given the advances that we're all seeing in quantum materials and quantum mechanics, and just even quantum physics or quantum sensing, that perhaps the current mathematics that we have just really isn't enough, and that you actually need to invent new maths. I like to tell the students, I used to work in a university where a second year invented logarithms. So if a second year can do that then, why not a second year here in ANU inventing the new logarithms that will help us understand the world a little bit better, at least use mathematical representation to help solve those problems. And I think that when we're being kind, we have to be kind in our teaching, we have to be kind in our research. We have to kind of not jump to conclusions that if somebody says to you, as I did to a room this week or last week, hey, in Fenner, there's a PhD student who's working on working with working dogs and helping train them and helping thinking about the world to see if they can actually sense, the dog that is, sense a mobile phone or a downed drone. And your reaction shouldn't be, that's not possible. Your reaction should be, why do you think that's possible? And how is that possible? Because from my modeling understanding, my understanding of computer science or mathematics or physics or chemistry or biology or anything else that we do in this college, I don't understand. Even if you're a Nobel laureate working here in ANU, there's so many things you will never understand about other disciplines. So your first port of call shouldn't be, no. Your first port of call should be, how is that possible? And does that actually help impact on my research? So being kind in our teaching, being kind in our research, being kind to each other, it also kind of magnifies, being curious and what it actually means to be curious as scholars. And I think if we do that, then the students will see that curiosity and that kindness that we show to each other, because we can't know everything, but we can find other people who might help us understand. And it's those breakthroughs that I think happen when the physicist is humble, the chemist is humble, the environmental scientist expresses an idea, the computer scientist thinks about it in a different way, and that together somebody asks a question and then some breakthrough happens. And I think from my experience so far here is the kind of place that gives birth to new inventions, new ideas. But along the way, of course, the new ideas need friends. You can't expect a brand new idea to go uncharted, to go untested. And I think that's what we should do in being kind. We should test each other's ideas, but in a kind way, but in a way that expresses an intellectual curiosity. And that applies to all of us. If somebody's come up with a new process that's helping us, support our science, or helping support our teaching, being kind to actually understand why someone like me or you have actually invented that process, I think is actually important. So that's the second one. I think the last one that I said to them, I probably say to all of you, is that it is an amazing place. I walk by the Chancellery, and I learn a lot about the physical environment as I walk into work, and I think about what I'm going to do for the day. And I've been really impressed, I have to say. It's been a really welcoming experience over the last month. I've asked lots of questions, and I'll continue to ask lots of questions. I like to bring to bear my experiences, but more than anything else, I want to get everyone who's working with me to bring together big ideas and to work as a team and work problems collaboratively, because I think that's the way we actually make an advance as both as a college, as a university. That's a university that has a responsibility to the nation, and through the responsibility to the nation has a responsibility to the world, and is drawing on 65,000 years of continuous culture, drawing all that knowledge in. And I see that every day as well as we walk through campus. And you can see it living and breathing around you, all this history around you, the thousands of years of history that we're building on. And I think together we're part of the current generation of custodians for the future. So I hope I get to meet many more of you. I hope you get to ask the students, when you meet the students, over the course of the days and weeks ahead, what did the dean say? Or like, oh, I slept in, I couldn't go to that. Totally fine. Or I was working. That was interesting. Will, one of our students, he was working, but that's okay. His mate Troy, he was able to go and take some notes for him, and then Will and Troy were able to chat to each other and say, oh, what did you learn, and what do you remember? And ask them what they remember. Because I think they are here because of you. They're here because of the potential, but they're here because of each other as well. So for them to be who they want to be for the rest of their lives, they need us to help them do that. They need us to challenge them, to be kind, but not to give them an easy ride, to ask the difficult questions, and to be prepared for them to ask us the difficult questions. Because knowledge advances through all of our efforts. It's not the purview of just the academics. It is the purview of the collection of community of scholars. So that undergraduate second year who asks you a question in a lecture that you think, why did you think that? Or why are you coming at it from that point of view? That could be the student who's about to invent the new logarithm. Don't dismiss it. That could be the student who's about to step away from the university and invent DeepMind. That could be the student who's going to figure out exactly how to make a quantum sensor see all the way through to the ocean, so the oceans become transparent. So I hope I get to meet all of you. It's the last day of open week. Campus is kind of quiet. Campus is also really quite amazingly beautiful. I am being safe as I walk along chatting to you like this. Thank you for welcoming me. I look forward to seeing many of you over the course of the days and months ahead. If any problems, talk to your colleagues, talk to each other. It's a big team. I'm just here to support all of you, do the best work that you can possibly do. And I look forward to seeing you. Come on campus. It's quite pretty nice today. See ya. Enjoy the rest of our week.